Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Chkalov, whatever you want to call it. There's a problem with this game right now, and it's not what you think. It's this ship. This ship is stupidly busted. And I know there are going to be some folks out there that are A, either carrier mains, or B, who are going to say, well, other ships have the ability to dev strike other ships, and they have the ability to do this or that, and, be able to move around the map all completely unseen, and, things like the Shimakaze exist, and they're able to get within 5 kilometers of you and drop 15 torpedoes doing 23,000 damage apiece. What's the problem with the Chkalov? Well, the problem is that this thing never has to get anywhere near the fight, right? That's the problem. And I want you guys to pay attention to the overall battle impact that I have during this match. Now, it's not always about damage, folks. I know people are going to be like, well, Spartan, you didn't put up that much damage. I see you do more than that in battleships all the time. It's not about the damage. It's about the battle impact. What do I mean by battle impact? I mean my ability to stretch out the enemy team to a point where I do not allow them to do anything that even remotely resembles trying to win the match. Case in point, we see the AA of the enemy destroyer. We're going to immediately go into trying to attack said destroyer. Now, not going to lie, destroyer's going to do a great job of dodging this first drop. But what have we already done? We have just officially shown my Kagero exactly where their only destroyer is, who just happens to be a prolific radar gunboat. Why is this a big deal? Well, now he knows that if he goes into that cap and isn't, planning to get shot at, he could get yeeted very quickly, right? Simple. But notice the other thing that I did. Because he's dodging me, he's turning away from the cap, thus protecting our Kagero. It's not just about hitting the guy and forcing it. It's about stopping him from doing what he wants to do. And why is this such a big deal? Well, first of all, we all know destroyers are the biggest impact in the game, right? They have the ability to get around the map completely unseen. They have the ability to dev strike any ship at any given time, depending on their location. And they also have the ability to capture bases with impunity, right? All of these things give them a huge one-up on every other class. I'm not saying you can't counter it, I'm just saying that it's a thing. Now, watch this drop. This is why he has to completely go off of his game, right? He tried to turn back. He tried to come for the destroyer. I immediately made him regret it. This is the battle impact. Now, because of that, watch what he does. He now, because he got set on fire, got spotted, my cruiser shot it. Are you seeing the problem here? Right? This destroyer that would normally be basically unseen and able to move around the map freely and do whatever he wants has now been completely neutered in the match and is now no threat to anybody at any time. At least not for the foreseeable future, as he hides in his smoke, cowering from my battle impact. Now, here we have a battleship who is broadside to us. We're going to drop him. We're going to get the third skip and bloop into the superstructure. 3 pins, bajillion damage, and fire. Right? Now, we've already used our skip bombs for the time being, and so we go ahead and load up the torpedoes. And look, there's a Scharnhorst 43 trying to push into the cap. We can't allow that. That would be trying to win the match. And our entire goal here is to avoid anybody on the enemy team trying to win the match. Now, I can't be everywhere at once, but I can certainly get most places very quickly. And this Scharnhorst is going to find out just how stupid a carrier that is actually capable of yeeting you can be. As he's reversing out of the cap because he's being shot at by my entire team on that flank, I dropped 6 torpedoes in his way, and we are going to absolutely punish the man for even considering getting into a cap. How dare you! Not only that, but we also get a perma-flood because they've been shooting him with HE this whole time. So now, he is now perma-fired and perma-flooding. That's got to be feeling bad, right? Now, we come back over, just in case he manages to damage con, we go ahead and start our attack run, assuming he's going to die before we get there, but you never know. He might survive. So we're just going to come over here and make sure that he doesn't. And just as we get the drop away, boop, he dies. Shocker. Now, what's the next shot? Oh, we got HE skip bombs again. And another full squadron. Why? Because we're not flying into the AA of everything. We're able to drop outside the AA of most ships. If you play this ship correctly, you almost always have full squadrons. Now, the one caveat to this is obviously if things get out of hand and you're hiding behind an island and they're coming right at you, you're going to be running out of planes simply due to the fact that you can't restore them fast enough because you're annihilating everybody so quickly. We'll show some of that later, don't worry. But, Peter Bagration, didn't we just show this? This ship is great! We already showed how amazing this ship can be, right? Now watch our battle impact. He's hiding behind an island, feels pretty good about his life choices, right? He's like, ah, fine. What do I have to worry about? I don't know, me. That's what you have to worry about. Not the best drop in the world, but I hit his bow and yeet the man. 4 hits for a fire and half his health gone. Over 10,000 damage done. And how quickly does he go now? Because now he has moved, trying to dodge me, right? He's now deciding to try to get away. And somebody's going to yeet that man. No problem. Now the Saipan goes down because, of course, they haven't had anything to stop the mid-push, right? Oh, look! The destroyer's back! Now, I'm not going to lie. If you're this Georgia, I know you just shot the enemy Saipan, but the Georgia doesn't have that long of a reload, and there is absolutely no excuse for you not killing this USS Black here, right? And there's even worse of an excuse for losing all your health to it. All you have to do is bow tank the little turd. That's all you gotta do. You take a torpedo, maybe 2 torpedoes, but you don't get killed, right? But, alas, that is not the case. USS Black survives. Flounder over here is shooting down my planes because I have to get a little bit closer here. I want to make sure that these torpedoes hit. Remember, these torps are extremely slow, and I'm not very good at dropping them. It takes time to learn the nuances of every new ship, and this ship's torpedoes are awful when it comes to trying to line them up, or at least for those of us that only have 2 brain cells. It's pretty awful. And so I'm like, well, you know, we got our skip bombers back. Let's go just double check and see if we can finish off this destroyer. We don't want this guy running around actually trying to win the match, right? Like, we have kept him completely out of the fight up to this point, with the exception of the fact of him yeeting our Georgia because the Georgia just makes a dumb play. Like, I get it. All you have to do is bow tank the freaking thing, and then you take a torpedo, maybe 2, and you survive, and you yeet him. It's that simple. We left him with no hit points, but apparently that wasn't enough. So here we're going to come in from the back, and RNGesus says, go fuck yourself. There was no reason that those bombs should have hit him. Every other time I've dropped somebody sailing away nice and skinny like that, they just boop, 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 crisscross and go right around his ship. But RNGesus dictated that that man goes straight to port. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Spartan, this game's still pretty close. Is it, though? Is it close? We have an entire flank wrapped up. We have the most critical cap in the fact that we have control over the center cap, and they have to try to take that from us. We also have a ship advantage currently, and we have a Chkalov. And not just a Chkalov, but a carrier when their enemy team does not. And that allows me to continuously put pressure on the enemy. Now, obviously, with the cruiser there, not likely to hit this guy while he's bow in, but hey, I'm going to throw the shotgun out there because you miss all the shots you don't take. And because it also makes them off guard, right? It pushes them to do things that they would normally do in the situation, which allows them to be caught by your teammates. And this is the biggest problem with this ship. You have to decide, are you going to take the big hit from me, or are you going to take the big hit from my teammates? But because you have to decide, watch this. Whoop. And again, I led this too much. I'm assuming it takes longer for these skip bombs to get to their target. And again, this is just me being a potato. I am a potato when it comes to carriers. You guys know this. I dictate myself the world's worst carrier player. Right? I am like a gorilla. Right? I see a ship, I go for a ship. I don't try to strategize. I don't try to do anything crazy other than like early prioritizing the destroyer, because obviously, I mean, even a person with 2 brain cells can figure that much out. You got a ship that is literally designed to absolutely annihilate destroyers. All you got to do is use your brain cells. You got 2 of them, you're fine. If you got 1, I apologize. That brain cell's probably busy breathing and blinking. But for the rest of us, like, if you have at least 2, you're gonna be fine. And we land all those torpedoes, by the way. We hit the North Carolina with 2 of them, and hit the Shimanto with 1. And Shimanto goes full broadside, bloop, down he goes. Now, he didn't go broadside because of our torpedoes. He went broadside because he ran into the freaking North Carolina and just happened to catch my torpedo, plus the broadside, or the attack from the carrier, or the battleship. Good lord, I can't speak. But we land 4 hits on the North Carolina. We get the permaflood, and as we come in with skip bombs, wait for it. This is disgusting. Whoop! Over the superstructure. Make sure we get that nice high bios, and blammo! He had fun, right? The enemy team had fun, and that's what matters, folks. 115,000 damage, and oh my god, I don't have any planes left. Why do I not have any planes? Wargaming, I need to have a faster restoration. Oh, never mind, we good. I need to have a faster restoration time, clearly. I'm running out of planes, not because they're being shot down, but because I'm attacking too fast. There's your problem. These planes can go from where I'm at halfway to my target because of JADO, which obviously you gotta have, you know. Wouldn't want you to not have JADO. I don't think that even existed until like Vietnam, but what do I know? This thing has it, so that's all that matters, right? We dropped the 2 torpedoes at the Massachusetts, and then we've got a whole other platoon, or whole other squadron ready to go by the time we get back. Because again, we were only out of planes because we were attacking too quickly. That is a problem. And if you can't figure out why that's a problem, you probably are a carrier main. Just throwing that out there. You're probably a little biased, right? But we have successfully repelled the enemy attack. We have pushed these guys back. We have completely decimated every flank. And while this Massachusetts continues to try to run from the slowest torpedoes on Earth, he's a battleship, he's going in reverse, he's going to take a couple of torpedoes. And then just when he thinks that he's got it made, I come in with a full squadron of skip bombers to say, one last time, to go f yourself. Right? What did they do wrong, chat? They simply loaded into the game, and we cannot have this. You're not allowed to load into the game against the Chkalov, because God forbid you load into the game against the Chkalov and try to win the match. You're not allowed. You simply must hug each other, sing Kumbaya, put your head between your legs, and kiss your butt goodbye. Top of the leaderboard, 2,199 XP, 4 kills, and I'm a potato. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.